Good morning. Welcome to another Semen Retention Sunday episode here on the Regal Change account. Now, the topic for today is a bit different, and I have never seen anybody do a topic about this because I don't know how often it happens to people, but I know for myself, I'm going to be speaking strictly from experience here because that's exactly why I thought about this topic. Over the past 2 years, I've had more and more cougars coming after me. And it's like they are, in some ways, more horny than the 18-year-olds that are coming after me and the 20-year-olds that are coming after me. It's very bizarre. And I've been thinking about why this is off and on for the past couple years, and the only thing that I think is really different about me specifically is semen retention. And the culmination of me becoming a man and doing what I need to do to get the job done. When I was younger, obviously there was, I was fat. I was nearly 200 pounds at 5'6". And I didn't have a lot of stuff going for me, honestly. Not in the way that I do now. I didn't know how to invest. I didn't know how to take care of my body. I didn't know how to do a lot of things. Just basic stuff, basic things. Didn't know how to do this. And now that I am the man that I am, I've seen more and more women that are cougars coming after me. And I haven't heard about this experience with other men on semen retention except for certain types of men. And these are the men that are not always building themselves up as far as finances or anything like that. It is strictly about sex appeal. That's all it is. And you don't need to have the best looks in the world to have sex appeal. Sex appeal comes, no pun intended, sex appeal comes from having the ability to stand confident in who you are and what you're about, no matter what's going on, no matter what's happening. You're comfortable in your skin. Status, looks, these things are they're just abstracts, okay? It's gonna be expanding on qualities that are already within inside you. Because if you don't have the internals to really match what's happening externally, then you're never going to be able to keep a woman no matter what you do. But the cougar is mainly interested only in, I call them sexcapades, because that's all she's interested in. And you've got to be very mindful because a lot of these cougars are still Jezebels. Okay, these are women that have never grown up, a lot of them. Now, this is not to say that all cougars are like this, because I myself, as a man on semen retention, have seen women in their 60s or 70s, and I've seen their just feminine aura, and it's like, wow, I'm just attracted to it because I can see them for their energy, not really for their body. Now, this doesn't happen all the time, and I've gotten control over it over the past few years because this is my 3rd year of semen retention. I just had my 3-year anniversary, you could say, of semen retention. And the best thing that I've seen as far as progress goes is learning how to deal with the cougar, because the cougar is going to come after you very hard. She's going to really try to do everything she can to work you. Okay? And on semen retention, you've got to be mindful of this. You're already practicing the self-discipline. You're already doing what you need to do. You've got to be weary and knowledgeable on whether or not a woman's trying to work you. Well, how do you know if a woman is trying to work you? Well, it depends on what she's trying to get from you. You can tell if a woman's trying to work you if she's trying to get certain things from you. Now, a cougar, though, she's usually financially stable. or at least somewhat financially stable. She doesn't really need, your finances. She wants your body. She wants your energy. She wants your aura. Okay, she wants to aura harvest. Some of these Jezebel women that are cougars want to aura harvest you. Okay, they want to energy harvest you. And this is something that I encourage every man to be wary of, because you they will come onto you strong, and you might feel something. You might feel something. I remember there was a woman about 1.5 years, 2 years ago that came onto me pretty strong at the gym. And this was a woman who is very, very fit. Okay, she's in her 40s or 50s, but she's still in great shape. And I would never pursue a relationship with this kind of woman, and I'm only looking for a long-term relationship. I'm looking for creating something meaningful with a woman. At this point in my life, I've gotten control over my lust to the point to where I'm not even worried about temptations like this. Yeah, the temptation will be there, but I know I'll be able to come through on the other side, and I know that I'll be able to overcome the obstacle of the temptation. Like, it's not even a problem. It's like it's still there. The temptation's still there, but it doesn't have the weight that it used to have. So I'm not really worried about that. But this woman, about 1.5 years, 2 years ago, she very financially stable as well, very fit, and she really just made it about wanting my body. She put innuendos out there that anybody that is socially aware would see that this is an innuendo. Okay, very sexual innuendos. And she would purposefully misinterpret what I'm saying to make it the frame, like to invoke a frame of sexual tension. And so when now I know what she wants, right? Now I know what she's looking for. And it's really something to be desired by women like this, especially cougars, because women like that, they've obviously, some of these women are good women, but a lot of them that are acting like this are just Jezebel still, because they're likely divorced for no good reason. They're likely not looking for anything serious, and you can't really have a child with them. So it's like, as a godly man, what is the point of pursuing a relationship with this kind of woman? But of course, the temptation's still there. And so she was making all these sexual innuendos, reframing things, trying to talk to me, get me to talk about, if I have a girlfriend or not. Subtly, like, oh, your girlfriend's going to be worried about this. That's her trying to see, like, okay, well, does he have a girlfriend? And I didn't confirm or deny. Because in those kinds of situations, for me personally, I would rather stay a mystery, and I would rather stay like nobody really knows about my private life. Because one thing I've learned is while I do have a this forum and this platform where I talk about things going on in life and just being real, and sometimes I'll give out a little bit of what I'm doing and what I'm up to, but for the most part, if you have a good job, or if you have a good career, if you had good investments, it's better to keep quiet about those things. And if you have a good romantic life, it's better to keep quiet about those things. It's usually, I only share with the kinds of people that I think would either find it beneficial, or that I'm actually, they're in my circle. So I don't like to talk about too many of these things, because specifically like the good things in life, because a lot of haters will love to ruin great things. A lot of haters don't want you to live up to your potential. And you know what I've noticed about haters recently? for some reason, I always get haters. I always get haters when I'm doing something really good with my life, or when something great has just happened. Isn't that crazy? I mean, that's just the devil coming in to try to stop everything that's happening. But we're not going to stop. And on this journey of semen retention, like, you really cannot fail. Okay, this is something else that I want to be clear on, is like, when you're retaining your energy, when you are being pure and aiming to strive to live a pure life and a pure lifestyle, even if you fall and your intentions are to be closer to God, because that's, a lot of people want to do semen retention for the female benefits and all this stuff, and the money benefits, the finances, and they wonder why it doesn't work. It's like, well, there's a reason why it doesn't work. But because they're not growing closer to God. But one thing though is, like, many people that are trying to grow closer to God, all these things just get added unto them. And sometimes, like the Bible says, seek first the kingdom of God and everything else will be added unto you. A lot of people don't understand the gravity of that statement. A lot of people don't understand what it truly means to live in the numinous and to live in the realm of spirituality all the time. A few weeks ago, I made a video talking about how, well, not specifically, but I mentioned this in one of the videos, is reality kind of seems more and more cartoonish every day. And it feels like I'm living through an epic cartoon in life. Like, that's what life feels like sometimes. It feels like living through an epic cartoon. And you have all these weird random things happening with you and to you all the time. And you're making things happen, especially on semen retention. Like, on semen retention, you cannot fail because you're always making things happen. And, like, even your failures are going to be life lessons if you can incorporate them. If you can really take to heart what you're learning about and what you're going through, and you can reflect on this, man, it's going to change your life. It's absolutely going to change your life. There's no way that it can't, if you just try to understand what's happening and why this is happening and why you're doing what you do. You don't need to overanalyze. You don't need to think about things all the time, because sometimes the most courageous person is the one that doesn't strategize or think about things. The most courageous person is just doing things because he wants to do it. He wants to do what he wants to do, and he's going to do what he wants to do. It's quite simple. And, he doesn't really think about what's going to happen on the other side, because he knows that he's got to be true to who he is and what he wants and what he's about. I've made decisions lately that, some people might really disagree with. In fact, a lot of people probably disagree with a lot of my decisions. But the thing is every decision that I make, I know is getting me closer to God, because I'm doing it because I'm doing this for me. I'm doing this for me and my relationship to God. I'm not doing it for anybody else. I might be helping people or showing compassion or showing love and appreciation along the way, but this is for me. Sorry, sorry. What's the saying? Sorry, not sorry? Yeah, sorry, not sorry. I'm doing this for me. Because I care about who I am. I care about staying true to who I am. I care about my integrity. And I'm not going to let anybody dishonor me for it. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't be with cougars or anything like that. I'm not saying that you can't be with a cougar, because I've talked to women a little bit older than me, and there's nothing really wrong with it. It's just that there's only been like 2 relationships that I've ever seen, one of which is somebody that I'm currently working with in my one-on-one mentorships, who has a woman older than he is, and the relationship is working out for the better. This is not to say that it doesn't happen. It's not to say it can't happen, because I've had really positive relationships and have really positive relationships with women that are a little bit older than me. But for generally speaking, for most men, it does not work. Having a woman that's older than you does not work, because she usually wants to mother you, or she's just a really sex-crazed cougar that just wants you for your body. And you know, while that's a great thing to have as far as an experience, you know, it's really weird to be desired like that from a woman, especially a woman, you know, she's still really relatively fit and healthy. Like, you know, she's still looking good for 40 years old and all that, like 50 years old. Like, she looks great. And age doesn't really even need to play a factor. You know, she just looks great for who she is. But I wouldn't take that kind of woman seriously personally, because I encourage and am pursuing relationships that are meaningful and that are not expedient. So I hope that this message was useful and insightful, or perhaps edifying in some way. It's definitely a little bit different kind of topic, because I haven't seen very many people. I don't actually think I've seen anybody talk about this specific topic. So we're entering new uncharted territory here, I think. Perhaps. I don't know. Sometimes, I know Freud, for example. Freud in the past, he used to think that the unconscious was this, you know, new discovery, when in reality, the Eastern philosophies have always talked about it, just in a very different way. So perhaps I'm discovering something new, perhaps I'm not, but I've yet to see anybody talk about this, so I figured, you know what, I might as well. So with all that being said, if you do want to join a spiritual, God-like community where we are growing in mind and body and soul each and every day, check out the free 15-minute call for the preview to the Regal Change Academy. The Regal Change Academy is an online community and academy that I've created and built for you. Okay? This is for people that want to have a sense of community. If you are looking more for one-on-one mentorships, because sometimes people prefer the group, sometimes people prefer like individuals, one-on-one mentorships. It depends on the person, what they're looking for. But for the one-on-one mentorships that I'm offering, I'm doing a Godlike Mastery Initiation program, and then just a general one-on-one. The Godlike Mastery Initiation is only for people that are pursuing something really greater than themselves. Like, they know that they're destined for something great. It's not going to be for beginners. Like, these are for people that really want to have an overhaul of their life, and they have the finances and the time to do so. Okay? General one-on-ones are going to be more just as they are, general one-on-ones. I also have a free Telegram link that you can check out in the link in the description box below. And then the link for the free 15-minute call to be introduced to the Regal Change Academy with one of the team members there is also in the link in the description box below. And with all that being said, I hope everybody has a blessed day, and peace be with you all. Until next time.